Hey everyone, I'm finally back to do another reaction video. For those who don't know, if you're new to the channel, which is very likely considering I don't have a ton of subscribers, my name is Jeff. I'm a mediocre martial artist, an exercise scientist, and kind of action movie nerd enthusiast. So a while back I decided to maybe try on a few of these reactions. I did one a couple of months ago. Got a little bit of traction as of this recording. I think about 2,500 views, which for my tiny channel is actually kind of a big deal. And so I'm finally getting around to doing another one here. The previous video that I did, if you didn't see it, was Wheels on Meals, a very famous fight scene between Jackie Chan and Benny the Jet Urquidez, one of my favorites, and a favorite for many people out there who are action movie enthusiasts and martial artists. And at the suggestion of somebody who saw that video, that reaction I did, I'm watching this one. So this is Dragons Forever, and again, a fight between Jackie Chan and Benny Urquidez. Now, after this one, I plan on doing more reaction videos since the previous one got some good attention and some positive reactions. And they won't just be Benny Urquidez and or Jackie Chan. I'm going to branch out into other people, other scenes. But this is, again, a suggestion made by somebody else, so I'm recording this one. Hopefully, I'll be able to get this video up in the next few days after this recording. But, yeah, I'm excited to go into it. One last thing. In the previous video, if you saw that one, I had some preparation. I had seen the scene a few times before, and then I watched again right before doing the actual recording because I wanted to share some cool insights. This time I'm going in blind. So I haven't seen this scene in its entirety, at least not in a very, very long time. I haven't studied it, I haven't looked through it with a critical eye or anything. So I'm going into this much fresher. So you're gonna see something pretty close to a first-time reaction. We'll see how it goes. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get the screen queued up here. There we go. I'm watching the full-length version of the scene, so there are going to be some, reactions and story stuff, not an edited version that only has the fight beats. So it's 6 or 7 minutes long. Let's get the headphones on, and hopefully everything's going to work okay for the scene. Let's see what we got. There's Benny. And those dark eyes, dude. That beautiful back kick. Love it. I love a good comical reaction shot like that. The acknowledgement. There's a little respect. Like, good kick, guy. That mustache is amazing. We're not going to talk about the story or anything else here. Woo! You wouldn't expect it from that guy just looking at him. Always have a fresh cigar. I don't know why, that look is just really cool. And again, we are seeing this sort of, what looks like sort of eyeliner thing that they're doing. I guess it was common in certain Asian films, like East Asian action cinema, to do like little makeup effects and stuff on people. I think I commented in my previous video about Wheels on Meals where I mentioned that, about Benny's eyes. So now the fight actually begins. Here we go. You have to be able to take the jacket off dramatically. Let's see it. Yeah, loosen the tie, man. Gotta be able to breathe. Woo! 2-on-1, that's not fair. Lovely axe kick there. Really quick and snappy. Now this is slightly sped up for effect. I wonder how hard it is to time that with a liquid coming out of the nose like fake blood. Messing up your shirt, Jackie. Nice rhythm. I want to go back and look at that just for a bit where he fell. This is probably a padded platform or padded piece of ground. I don't know if I'll be able to tell. Like he's falling back right there, jumping back up. And then he trips him. Oh, that may not be padded. It's not giving. Could just be taking the fall and maybe have some padding on his back. It was a quick enough shot that I couldn't tell. That was a weird token front kick there. I love that. Oh, conveniently placed boxes. And the random bricks of product. I love that reaction with the groan. Oh! Beautiful. That is beautiful. Hit him with the flex. Again, I like this right here. I'm not doing a whole lot of analysis till the end, but I just like the little, again, little bricks of product that came out of the boxes when Jackie got knocked into them. It's just nice to have that stuff everywhere. Boom, 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 pow, 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 pow. I love that kind of rhythm. And the hands. I would so want to be this guy as a spectator. Meanwhile, the two fighters are just dancing outside. Quick, call 999. Ooh. Ooh. Look like, yeah, there's a little spot of blood right there on the edge of her scalp. Guess that was a little touch added intentionally. Syringe fight. Ooh. This is so ridiculous. I love it. It's like his take on Thriller. Oh, man. Just toss him off. There you go. Into whatever that's supposed to be. I'm wondering how many takes it might have taken for that scene. It would be funny if that goofy little, like, I'm seizing up from the injection thing took more takes than the complicated fight choreography immediately before it that the two of them were doing. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Woo! If he's got him almost in a proper arm triangle there, that choke could take him down pretty quickly, I think. Woo. Ooh. Oh, they redid the shot. So that scene or that kind of kick is one of my favorites when it's pulled off well. Over and bang. So it's sort of the spinning roundhouse thing coming down into the chest. I absolutely love that. I used to try to do it back when I was lighter and uh, less banged up. I'm not going to be doing it anytime soon with my knee the way it is. But that kick is just something I've always really liked and always wished I could pull off. Now, why his hands are completely down, I guess it's just to help sell the kick, but great hit, great shot. And boom. Of course it explodes. Everything just breaks. Just breaks apart. All right. So that's what we got right here. So that was the scene, the big sort of climactic fight between the two in this film. I'm really digging it. There are a lot of common pieces that I'm seeing, and there's some other stuff from Jackie Chan and Benny Urquidez, art of action stuff. So much other stuff I'd like to go into eventually. There are some common features that I'm noticing. I guess I don't really need to keep these on anymore. Common features between this video or this fight scene and the previous one that I talked about. Because one of the things I've liked about Benny for a long time is that there's a sort of intensity and kind of coiled up quality to what he does. He doesn't typically, at least in the scenes that I've been able to watch, do these really big, over-the-top, flowery kind of acrobatics. He doesn't need to. This is a guy who built up a reputation. Let me just bring it up here. He built a reputation from a fight record where he was beating the crap out of people. And an experienced fighter hits people a lot. So I'm going to turn this volume down a little bit here. Hopefully it's going to work right in the edit. But there's, again, just this intensity and a more straightforward kind of quality to a lot of the hits or a lot of the things being thrown. This is a man who has spent time just pounding away probably at pads, done a lot of those drills, a lot of actual contact sparring, and of course fighting people in the ring, developing a very impressive kickboxing record. So this is somebody who got into the fight scene after he had this long storied history of actually hitting people. So a person like this is great, assuming you're willing to take a hit. Good to do a scene with if you want to sell something as being a very realistic hit, in many cases. But of course you do have the danger of having this person actually hit you when you don't want them to. So maybe it's sort of there's a give and take there. There's a pro and a con. But again, something I've always liked about Benny. I also like this little bit right here. It's just totally unnecessary acrobatics, but it plays into the sort of playfulness of the scene with this guy, where he's like, all right, I'm going to kick you once. I'm going to hop up on the table. Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoop. And I'm just going to cartwheel on up over here, take a couple puffs of my cigar. Another good thing about this scene, it was done in the Wheels on Meals scene, and it's being done again here. You're seeing these shots set up. The camera is far enough back, the zoom is far enough back that you can actually see what's going on. You have most of the fighters' bodies in the scene, or in the shot rather, so you don't have the camera zoomed in so much, and they're not doing a bunch of shaky cam stuff. A lot of that came later. This movie is in 1988, so a lot of shaky cam came after the second Bourne film. Was it The Bourne Supremacy? What was that? 2001, 2002, something like that maybe. I could be wrong about the date. I'd have to look at it, but definitely later than this. Way later than this. Matt Damon was still a kid when this scene was shot. But they're letting you see stuff, and that's really cool. And so you see a few beats, a few actual hits, and then they, cut to a different shot. There were a couple of spots in here, one with that downward kind of spinning roundhouse kick that Jackie threw into Benny's chest, where there was a hit, and then the hit is shown again. That's a thing that you don't see often in Western hand-to-hand fight scenes, hand-to-hand combat scenes, but it's more common in this sort of cinema, especially I think from this era, where it just, I guess, helps somebody to follow the action, and it helps to punctuate certain sections of a fight, certain beats. But again, there's a back and forth, right? There's a give and take. Benny's going back, and then he pushes Jackie back by responding with this beautiful back kick here. Of course, you have this very conspicuous box placement with all the probably like paper mache or whatever's going on here. But there's this great, again, story being told. There's an exchange. It's not a one-sided beatdown. You can have that for a scene, absolutely. But it depends on what the story needs. And in this case, this is a struggle between two relatively evenly matched opponents. That was a beautiful kick. Let's go back and look at that again. I love this. Not the sort of thing I would recommend in a fight, but then again, this is not supposed to be a realistic fight. This is a cinematic piece that's supposed to be entertaining, right? So, lock him up with the shirt. I like that. And then as his hands are up high, what's that do? Of course, it opens up the chest and stomach. I can do a drop kick on this guy right now. Double front kick, boom. Now, you'll notice something, right? Jackie's hands were up front, connected basically to Benny with that shirt. And then as soon as they cut to this, they obviously had they either gave a few seconds to set up and then have another camera, or they took the existing camera and moved it. I am assuming that this was a completely different setup where they stopped there on that shot, or maybe they kept going with some choreography that they ended up cutting out of this final version, the final edit. And then this shot here was set up separately. I'm not going to go through and check for every little continuity error, but it's necessary for Jackie to get the positioning for that kick. Really like it. Good. So Jackie was already standing here right before they cut to this angle, and here you see Jackie must have been farther back because he's flying forward. He has this forward momentum with the kick. So he was probably somewhere around here. He would have still been, I think, in camera shot, but he had to get a little bit of forward momentum. He could not be in this position moving forward in the way that he is if he had jumped from where he was standing, I think, in front of Benny in that previous shot from the other angle. But a beautiful kick. I love it. You can feel some force, some impact from it. He does that nice little back roll. Now, it's kind of interesting. His reaction is, oh, my back, even though he got hit in the front here, and he didn't double back super, super hard. But it's like his back almost hurts from hitting the table, even though he barely hit it. Again, Jackie hitting with that flex, showing off that he's doing his cardio. I also love the little the 80s ponytail thing going on here. Really digging it. I like the pause here. Pop, 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 bang, bang, bang. This rhythm, again, is something that these guys pull off super, super well. From what I've seen, Jackie Chan has a history of doing this. I'm not saying anything that's new, I don't think. But Jackie has this ability to find somebody he can get a rhythm with, and it's very dance-like, and it's pleasant to watch. It's got a flow and a cadence to it that I really, really like. And then Benny has a beautiful way of doing it. And often Benny can play kind of an aggressor who has these, again, very abrupt, very straightforward, very fast and intense hits. And Jackie plays well as somebody who responds to a lot of that. And of course, then he pushes back with his own momentum in a bit too. I love the whole, my hands and arms hurt from blocking. Realistically, yeah, that stuff hurts. They switch positions. And bang, 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 bang. Again, the shots are long enough. They're at least a few seconds. They give you time to see what's going on. Really loving this. Beautiful. That spinning heel kick coming around there. That was really, really nice. Really enjoying it. Again, you'll see a lot of modern action films will not have the confidence to do this, or they won't have the confidence in their fighters, or in at least one of the fighters in the scene. I mentioned this before, that in many cases, I think in my previous video I mentioned this, that you're going to have actors who may not be great fighters, and so that's hidden in the editing, or they try to hide it in the editing. They try to sell things by relying on camera trickery. They don't show a lot of shots like this that you see, where, okay, we got the full body of both of these people in the shot. You can't hide this. If a person doesn't know how to position for a kick, it's going to show. If the rhythm is really off, it's going to show. And these guys are matching each other beat for beat pretty well. I'm going to skip through all this little silliness right here. Okay, it was fun. I will say that. It's kind of fun, you know, to see the kind of ridiculous, I'm going to kick your hands and smash your hands and knock you off of this thing. Like, that's all great. But, of course, the purpose of this is really to go more into the fight with the other fellas. And I'll get into some stuff with Sammo Hung, maybe, and some of the other greats in their own due time. But I want to come back to this. So let's get back here. 1, Using the environment, of course, great use of the environment. The obstacles here with the little sliding gate or sliding wall or fence. Boom, boom, boom. I really like these kind of just back and forth, head, body, body, head, kind of alternating levels that you see. Sometimes it doesn't look great. These guys are selling it pretty well. So again, we come around. So there's that high kick, and then we see 1 arm, 2, 3, low, high, kind of an alternating cadence there. Low, low, low. Then he comes high, gets caught in that sort of arm triangle kind of position here, where I commented before. That choke, if you're applying that very well, if it's a clean choke, you can choke somebody out in a few seconds. Just about any properly applied blood choke, basically, where you're cutting off the carotid arteries properly, you're cutting off blood flow to the brain, only takes a few seconds. In a real life situation, of course, you get somebody who's resisting you, who has some awareness. They may not let you get a clean choke, and of course you see this in competition all the time, where people have to like grind them out because they're not working perfectly. So this is great. I love the strain on Benny's face right here. Of course, it's a fuzzy recording. Nice freeze frame, loving that, right? Just kind of a gable grip, clasping the hands here and coming across. Again, if that right arm is really up tight, that kind of provides a lot of the closure on one side, and of course his wrist would be coming across, occluding the other artery on this side. So if he pulls in appropriately, he should be able to choke Jackie out pretty quickly, but of course we're trusting that he doesn't quite have it for the purposes of this scene. So we come across here, and actually if you look at that, that's a loose position. You notice he changed his hand position a little bit there. So now he's just kind of here. He's just grabbing his hand this way. He was here, and now he's here, I believe. So he switched up his hand position for this wider shot because I think it's allowing him to move his arm a little bit better for the move that's coming up here. So I think he has the same position here. He's just holding tightly enough to do those kicks. There's the pull back, and then the flip over for the throw. Nice little leg catch there. Nice response from Jackie with the kick to the face. Boom. You miss, immediately come down with an elbow. I like it. Again, great little mini story beats and back and forth. The exchange in this fight is great. I know I'm talking a lot, but this is just my first time seeing this. I'm just commenting on it as I see it. I love how he hit Benny with a back kick right there. And here's that wonderful spinning roundhouse. And they're going to cut short again. Full speed. Beautiful, beautiful kick. And then the elbow to the face. The roundhouse. And knocking through the conspicuously exploding glass container thing, whatever it is. Really loving it. And of course, then Benny's got the glass embedded in his face. And there he is. He's down for the count. So, wonderful, wonderful stuff. I could talk all day about these kinds of things, and probably am talking way too long. So, final thoughts here. I'm going to close out this little window here. This is another great example, to me at least, of having a fight where you're playing to the strengths of both of the characters. Of course, Jackie is great at kind of bending and bobbing and weaving and using the environment, and he has a sort of looseness to him that works really well with somebody who I think has a little bit more of this kind of pop in a lot of the movements that he does, like Benny Urquidez has, or at least had here, still has today. The guy could still hit. You know, he's in his 60s, but I still wouldn't want to fight him. There's just, again, this I keep saying this straightforward quality to his fighting, to his punches and kicks that I really like, to Benny's, I mean. And it just fits really well. It creates these wonderful exchanges between these two fighters. These two men have tremendous ability, tremendous history and training history, coordination, ability to read rhythm and to play that rhythm into something that's beautiful to see on screen. So I really, really dig it. That little intermediate section with the woman and the Captain Cigar and Mustache there fighting her and then getting stuck with the needle. There's a purpose for it in the story, though it does kind of break up this main fight scene that I was really trying to analyze or discuss and look at, react to, what have you. But in the context of the movie, totally fine. I've run on way too long here, so I'm going to stop right here and see. Maybe this is too long. If so, I'll make my next reaction videos a little shorter. But I'm going to keep doing these. I'm hoping to do them much more frequently. It's been about 2 months, I think, since I uploaded my previous one as of the recording of this one, and this is going to take a couple of days for me to get it up and everything because I'm going to go through and see if I need to edit anything out. But thank you for watching. If you check this out, if you have suggestions on future videos that you'd like me to watch, just comment. Just drop a comment. You can send me a message. You can actually get a hold of me through contact information in the About portion of my channel page. But yeah, comment here. Drop a like if you liked it. Drop a dislike if you didn't like it. If you have suggestions, again, I welcome them. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of this and encourage it. Basically, though, just thanks for dropping in. I really appreciate it. I'm not a big fan of massive solicitations for likes and subscriptions. I figure people are going to do that, so I don't ever want to do those at the beginning of my videos. But yeah, thanks for dropping in. I look forward to doing more of these much more frequently than I have in the past, and we'll see where this goes. So thanks for dropping in, and I'll catch you next time.